Hi, in this video we're going to explain to you how we went from a small booking application idea all the way to a fully functional live booking platform we call GigZ. The team members are Stefan, Jason and Alex, and for our year-long project we wanted to create something that was lacking in Ireland and learn a few new skills along the way. As all of us love attending events and have many entertainers as close friends, we decided on a booking platform for venues and entertainers. Our application will give both types of users the freedom to choose who they want to work with and who they do not want to work with. So please enjoy the video as we show and tell you the process to making an application like GigZ. In the first semester, one of the first things we'd done after our idea was finalized was to start designing and mapping out the application. We started with some site mapping to get an overview of what pages and features we wanted and to better understand the flow of the location before we started designing. When we were happy with the features and flow of the application, we moved on to designing the layout of each page. We designed a mobile-first application as the majority of people would use their phones to do most of the booking and searching. We decided on a clean, minimalistic design so it would be appropriate for users of any age. From there we proceeded to design the desktop version as we want people to be able to access the application on any device. Next was the task of picking a color scheme. We first thought we wanted a bright, colourful interface that would grab people's attention, but changed our minds as it would not have been as user-friendly for people with sight problems. We agreed on a mostly black and white design while using a shade of blue for the buttons. The main font we picked was Coda, but this would change by the end of the project. After getting the basic elements done, we moved on to Figma, where we created a working prototype and finalized the way we wanted the application to work. Here we were able to take what was once just on pen and paper and really see it come to life. We really liked what we came up with and changed very little at this point. Creating 2 prototypes was more work, but it just meant we had a solid foundation to build upon. The very last and final part of the design process was to design the database. This was not very difficult at this stage as we had all the features and pages thought out and just had to implement the design. Our competitors include SonicBids, Filmy, Music Gigs and Gigmaster, just to name a few. While some of them were very well established and have great websites, nearly all are based in the United States, except Filmy, who are based in London. From our research, we were unable to find a competitor within Ireland that offers the same features and ideas we do. With all the other companies, they seem to stay with the same model, where they cater for the entertainers mainly. Some of the companies just focus on providing exposure to the venues for the entertainers and nothing more, where others just let festival and event organizers create area where bands and artists can apply to play at the event. The events market in Ireland is very big, with it making 1.7 billion in extra revenue in 2015 to 2016. This, and the fact people in Ireland like to go out and drink in licensed premises, means that there is a place in Ireland for an app that equally caters to venues, and this is exactly what our app aims to do. At the beginning of the project, our front-end framework for the website was React. The back-end framework we chose was Laravel, and the mobile library we chose was React Native. We chose these technologies as they gave us 3 clearly different roles to fulfill: a back-end developer, a web developer, and a mobile developer. Laravel was an ideal choice of back-end framework, as not only is it based in PHP, a programming language we are familiar with, it also has a wide variety of features that allow for the creation of secure APIs. This includes the creation of JSON web tokens. As we were having some compatibility issues integrating the React web front-end and the Laravel back-end, we decided to restart both the web and mobile applications to use the Iconic cross-platform mobile development framework. The Iconic Mobile Development Framework is an open-source user interface toolkit. It complies with the web standards, but can also gain access to native functionalities such as a camera or the user's location. It achieves this by utilizing the Cordova wrapper to access the native APIs. The framework allows for the creation of a modern progressive web application. It requires the use of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. The Iconic framework handles the front-end interface, but is often used with another framework. It is most commonly utilized with Angular 2, but it is also compatible with Vue and React. It can also be used with regular JavaScript. We have chosen to develop our project in Angular 2 as it has the most documentation and would also have the most support from developers on online forums. This also allows us to split up our roles to clearly distinguish our work. It splits our roles into the back-end developer, the front-end controller developer, who works with Angular and the controller functionality that ships with Iconic, and the front-end Vue developer, who creates and styles the Iconic components. The website isn't styled with regular CSS, it is styled with Sass. Sass is a CSS preprocessor that allows for the use of variables, loops, imports, and mixins. This speeds up development time and allows for the designs to be easily changed without much coding. This is useful for testing. When the application is first launched, there will not be any methods of generating income for a short period of time. Our first priority will be gaining the trust of the users before we start charging them. After a reasonably large user base has realized the usefulness of the application, we will begin to introduce advertisements into the applications. From our user testing, we have concluded that this is acceptable for a free application, providing they are not pop-up advertisements. After another period of time, we would then introduce a premium version of the application with additional functionalities, such as an instant messaging service, the ability to see what users have viewed your profile and how often your profile appears in the search feed. The premium service won't include advertisements and will be paid for with a monthly fee. Our user testing consisted of 10 average users. We applied multiple methods of testing in order to collect the most accurate data possible. The first method we used was task-based usability testing. Users were given several tasks to complete, such as create a booking on a venue, and were then timed to measure their success rate on completion of the task, and the amount of times they needed help while performing the task. All test users were recorded with their permission to help analyze the method, and for our other methods, think out loud. We felt the Think Out Loud method was an effective way of gaining the user's impression of the application, and to help narrow down any problems they came across. We also used a tracking software called Inspectlet to be able to see their clicking activity on the application. This provided vital insight into how the users expected the application to work, as we could monitor where and what the users clicked on when trying to complete tasks. The last method we used was a questionnaire, with carefully thought out questions to collect data on their overall experience with the application, such as design, navigation, functionality, and potential marketing. This also allowed us to gain much needed feedback on ways of improving the application by gaining suggestions from possible users. Through all these methods of testing, we were able to apply changes to the application to improve the user's experience. The first change we made was removing the register button on the login page, replacing it with a link stating "Don't have an account? Sign up now." We changed the term used for band throughout the application to entertainers, added more genres to the list to cover all major music categories, added placeholders to all the input fields to give an example of the format and to avoid confusion. We also removed character limits on certain fields such as password, bio, and details. We applied an anchor on the review title to bring users further down the page to the Add Review section. We improved the favoriting function to now bring users to their favorites section when they click the star icon, if they've already favorited that user. The GigZ project was an amazing experience for everyone involved. The team is happy with how the GigZ project has taken shape over the past few months into a multiple platform booking application it is today. Each member has learned a great deal while working on this enterprise from start to finish, as a team with professional standards. We feel that each one of us has improved our skill set in valuable areas that we may have otherwise missed. We have learned what is going to be expected of us in the workplace environment and feel more prepared to handle these future challenges.